Hi everyone, we're going to touch base with Bitcoin today. This is Bitcoin 8-hour chart. Now, of course, when we're zoomed in and we're not on the 8-hour chart, we're looking at the hourly chart. Some of Bitcoin's recent moves seem very significant, but the reality is when we zoom out, we've had the first volume spike in quite a while, at least for a couple of months, and it is significant. We've had a move above out of this ascending triangle, but that's all it's been so far. Now, if we zoom in, now, I mean, firstly, we can see that a retrace back down into this pattern to retest the 4-hour 200 MA and the bottom of this ascending triangle at around 91 to 92k. That's certainly on the cards, right? So there's quite a lot of downside ahead, but there is also a little bit of upside potential as well, as the resistance level Bitcoin is likely to get rejected from next is 101k. It's pretty smooth sailing from where we are, and it looks like we're putting in a very straightforward retest of that pattern, which is very difficult to see. So let's zoom in a little bit and switch maybe to the hourly chart. And if we zoom in, we can see a potential inverse, a potential head and shoulders pattern forming with a slight diagonal slant. So we have a breakout, we've had a retest, we've had another move up, and now we're coming back to have a retest. But when we look at the way this pattern is formed, it does suggest that we could have a retrace back into the pattern, which is typical. Now, where is that retrace going to stop? Well, firstly, we've got the top of this previous trading range, if confirmed. I mean, let's look at the measured move. So the measured move from this pattern is ultimately going to be around a maximum around this, which takes us to around 91.5. So anywhere between around 93, 92.5, that's the sort of area we need to be paying attention to. And it's also the top of this previous kind of trading range. So looking for a move, and we'll just put a nice little box here if I can find it. Looking for a move, essentially, just find the box tool. Here it is. So essentially looking for a move here. Let's just tidy this up a little bit, get rid of the background, give it a border, and stop the extension. There we go. So we're looking for a move back into this sort of box, which is between around 93 and maybe 92.5 is probably on the cards. And that does fit into the measured move following this sort of pattern. So we have to, it's not necessarily going to see a retrace all the way back down to this lower diagonal support. You see the price action has been quite bullish since then, but this is probably the ideal retracement zone we're looking for, which again is between 93 and maybe 92.5k for Bitcoin. And of course, if you are thinking of entering a position here, well, this is a reversal pattern, right? This is a topping pattern, and I'm not sure that many buyers are going to be coming in with this pattern quite clear at the moment. Therefore, if we do, of course, see a break higher from here and we surpass this previous swing, so the price action does this, then of course this pattern, this reversal pattern, this signal for maybe a little bit of markdown is going to be invalidated. But unless we see that, we're probably just waiting for a breakdown, which is probably going to come back down into this range, into this ideal retracement zone of ours, and then maybe go up from there. That's the idea. So it is a bit of a waiting game from Bitcoin, but don't chase any bullish further. There's a clear definable pattern on the hourly chart, which looks like a reversal. The psychology is there and present, lower highs and so forth. So we just need to wait to see if a neckline break. And again, if Bitcoin does manage to surpass what looks like to be about 97k, that will invalidate that pattern, and we can probably see a further move up to 101k. But I would presume we're going to see something like this first, and that's your opportunity to enter in this nice little box, again between 93 and 92.5k. But that's Bitcoin.